Now that we understand the cycle that we're going to be repeating, we're opening our Bibles to chapter 1, verses 26, or I'm sorry, verses 27 through 36, and it discusses that they did not drive out the Canaanites completely because the Canaanites had iron chariots. So, yes, the Canaanites had stronger weaponry, those iron chariots, but this is also Israelites' failure to rely on God. Be strong and courageous, the Lord your God is with you. So clearly that message wasn't received. So throughout the lifetime of Joshua, the Israelites were faithful to God, but Joshua has died. That's in chapter 2. So in chapter 2, verse 10, the verse reads, "There arose another generation who did not know the Lord or the work of the Lord." Why? Well, I can think of a few reasons. It could be that maybe the parents didn't pass the knowledge of God on to this generation, so it could be ignorance. Or maybe this generation was unwilling to learn of the Lord. So the Bible actually doesn't tell us why this generation didn't know the Lord. Now I'm going to go into a study. Today, 2% of young parents have a biblical worldview. Now, a biblical worldview would mean that your existence is to love and serve God. So everything you do is guided by God, meaning how you vote, how you raise your children, how you budget your finances. God's word is the guide in all you do. Only 2% of parents have that view. What that means is future children will not understand biblical morality and the Christian faith. I took a class called Christian Education, and in that class, I learned that your children will go to church one time less than you do. So, for example, say you're a Sunday Christian, meaning you only go to church on Sundays. Well, if there are 4 Sundays a month, then your children will probably go to church 3 times a month. Maybe your grandchildren will go twice a month. Your great-grandchildren maybe will go once a month. And by the 4th generation, no one will be going to church. And that's if you go to church every Sunday. A verse I had you highlight in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 is verses 4 through 9. And the significance of that verse is to love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And that would be a biblical worldview. Everything you do is designed to love and serve God. SHEMA, if you guys remember that from the Deuteronomy presentation, SHEMA, by hearing or reading God's word, we're learning God's will and hopefully putting it into practice God's will. So by doing so, we are an influence on our children. So it's our responsibility as parents to teach the ways of the Lord so that we don't have a generation that doesn't know the Lord like the Israelites. That was the root cause of Israel's problem in this book of Judges. They did not know the Lord. Now it comes as no surprise that without a foundation of where they're from or their destiny or where they're going, they fall prey to what other people are doing. Their ignorance guides them to false religions. It's a classic case of if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So